Hi, this is Don McAllister, and welcome to another edition of Screencasts Online for iOS. As you're no doubt well aware, I'm working my way through all the new features in iOS 9. But as a slight diversion this week, I'll also be taking a look at some of the new features of the new iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. So let's start off by taking a look at 3D Touch. Force Touch has been available for some time now on both the Apple Watch and also the latest trackpad on the latest MacBook Pro and MacBook. And I think it's fair to say that whilst it seemed to have potential, it didn't really set the world on fire. So when it was announced that Force Touch was coming to the iPhone, I must admit I did have a general apathy towards it. However, Apple have rebranded Force Touch as 3D Touch on the iPhone, and I think it's truly groundbreaking. If you're fortunate enough to have an iPhone 6s or an iPhone 6s Plus, you'll find that 3D Touch has sort of permeated pretty much throughout iOS 9. It's available on the home screen, it's available within applications as well. Now, because it is a hardware technology, it's not available for previous devices. So any of the previous iPhones it won't work on, any current iPads it won't work on. In fact, it won't even work on the forthcoming iPad Pro. I think we're going to have to wait till next year before we see 3D Touch on the iPad. But it is a fantastic technology, and I'm just going to show you the basics of what it can do at its initial launch. I think it will actually become more sophisticated over time, especially as more developers start to build their applications with 3D Touch in mind. So let's get started. So we've got the various levels at which it's been integrated into the operating system. First off, from the home screen. Now, if we just tap and hold, we have the standard behavior as we had before. In that case, things go into jiggle mode and I can delete them. You'll see here I've only got one third-party application installed, so that's the only application I can delete at the moment. But let me just tap again to stop that jiggle mode. Force Touch is when you tap and press. You don't have to press too hard, and I'll show you later how you can change the sensitivity of the press required. But for instance, if I go to, let's go to Mail, if I tap and press, you'll see we get this little box pop up. I can go straight to my inbox, straight to my VIPs. I can search my mail or create a new message. So if I just slide my finger without lifting off from the home screen and let go, it takes me into Mail, takes me into the inbox. Let's come back out to the home screen. Sometimes you'll find that Force Touch doesn't work. And by the way, when you do tap, you do get haptic feedback. They've built a new haptic engine into the iPhone, and it really does give you quite a powerful feel when you actually go into the 3D Touch. And by the way, I'll probably call this Force Touch at some time throughout the screencast, but it is 3D Touch. If we go to the App Store, say, if I tap and press, I can redeem codes, I can search. Let me just tap away. If I go to Notes, I can create a new note, create a new photo or a new sketch. I'll tap away from that. If I go into my messages, I can create a new message, or because I've sent a message recently to Don McAllister, I can actually go down and send a new message to them just by sliding down and letting go. It takes me into the message screen. Now, you will find that some apps aren't 3D Touch enabled. So if I go to Settings, for instance, I tap, it just bounces. I can feel like a double tap within the haptic engine. Fortunately, I can't simulate that for you, but I can see straight away that it's not configured for 3D Touch at the moment. Now, we are starting to see some third-party applications be developed with 3D Touch. I've got Twitter here. I've just downloaded and installed it. I've not run it as yet. If I tap and hold, you see we get the same behavior as though it's not enabled for 3D Touch. But if I run it for the first time, okay, we'll let it send us notifications. We'll say allow, and we'll come out again. Now, if I go and do a 3D Touch, I can search, I can create a new tweet, or I can create a new direct message. So we'll see more and more of third-party apps being developed with 3D Touch, for the icons at least. But more impressively, 3D Touch has been developed within applications as well. And it's not just a single sort of force press. There are multiple levels of pressure you can apply to the screen of the iPhone to make different things happen. To get the full version of this tutorial completely for free, as well as immediate access to over 500 other Apple-related tutorials, all you need to do is visit scofree.com to register for your 14-day no-obligation free trial Screencasts Online membership. So that's scofree.com to register for your 14-day free trial membership.